Right on time for Hope TV Newswatch on this 15th day of December 2025. A very good evening to you wherever you're watching us from, and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and Boniface Morethi is our sign language interpreter tonight. Now we begin with President William Ruto has recognized 22-year-old climate activist Trufena Muthoni for breaking the 72-hour tree hugging world record by appointing her ambassador of Kenya's 15 billion tree planting campaign. Honored with the Head of State Commendation Medal, Muthoni's symbolic act of environmental stewardship highlights her leadership in climate action and inspires nationwide participation in reforestation efforts. Moving on swiftly, Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndende Nyoro has strongly criticized the government's proposed National Infrastructure Fund, accusing it of being a tactic to avoid accountability and responsibility under the finance bill. The lawmaker insists past presidents successfully developed major infrastructure projects without overburdening citizens with excessive loans. And as Sami Adika reports, Nyoro's remarks have continued to spark debate on government borrowing, taxation and transparency in infrastructure financing.
We pray for our country.
With President William Ruto having announced that Kenya's journey to Singapore begins today through the unveiling of the National Infrastructure Fund that is set to collect 5 trillion Kenya shillings, Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro has downplayed the plan, insisting it is an empty promise, accusing President William Ruto of borrowing faster and more recklessly than former President Uhuru Kenyatta. The lawmaker insists the country has not realized its true growth potential, yet the government has borrowed close to 4 trillion Kenya shillings since taking charge of the country in September 2022.
Accountable is illegal. The money that is building the bombers of Kenya is also not part of this loan. It is another illegal loan. So we are asking a very fundamental question. The illegal loans are the ones we can see what they are doing. The illegal ones, which is just a small fraction. Where is the 4 trillion Kenya shillings Kenya has borrowed for the last 3 years and 2 months?
The current administration has equally been accused of shifting responsibility through new funds, with Nyoro arguing that the move could increase financial pressure on Kenyans while masking the true cost of development.
Choking the economy how it should grow, we choke it in all forms, through patronage, through wrong decisions. But then because we want to be seen as doing something, we overtax the same people, we overborrow, which is taxation in the future, and then on top of that, we are not willing to be accountable for the money that you are borrowing.
Ndindi Nyoro's challenge comes amid a chain of UDA leaders launching scanting attack on his rhetoric, insisting President William Ruto will not be deterred from realizing Kenya's dream of becoming a first world country.
Ndindi Nyoro, wacha niwaambie, anataka kutuweka sisi katika ile minyororo ya utumwa, na hatuwezi kukubali. Miaka yote hii wamechukua deni, wamejenga sehemu chache za Kenya.
Despite Ndindi Nyoro's statement having sparked debate on government borrowing, taxation and transparency in infrastructure financing, President Ruto and his cabinet are set to consider and approve the establishment of the National Infrastructure Fund, which they say will serve as a dedicated financing vehicle for flagship mega projects, blending public resources with private capital from local and international investors, development finance institutions and pension funds.
Meeting.
For Newswatch, I'm Sami Adika.
Thank you so much, Adika, for that report. Now, a day after President William Ruto attended a church service in Kiambu County, leaders from the county engaged in a charm offensive campaign to seek fresh support from the mountain region. Speaking during a grassroots sensitization forum in Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology today, the leaders requested the region to rally behind President William Ruto. Jacob Ochiro with more on this.
A day after President William Ruto attended church in Kiambu County, leaders from the county engaged in a charm offensive campaign to seek fresh support from the mountain region.
Ateko!
Downplaying DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagwa's claims of having the full backing of the region, National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani said that no one can dictate to the Mount Kenya people who to support.
Kuna mwanaume mmoja Kenya ama kwa hii mlima anatubebea akili zetu sisi. Tuko na akili zetu timamu, sisi ndio tutajiamulia viongozi wetu ni nani. Kweli si kweli? Sisi ndio kuamua ama ni huyo ataamua? Si unasikia wanatupigia kifua ati mimi hii mulima yangu. Wewe mulima ulizalia wapi? Kuja hapa wa Murang'a.
Additionally, the lawmaker praised the Kenya Kwanza government for completing some of the stalled projects in the region, with his Thika town counterpart Alice Wahome insisting the region will remain behind President William Ruto to realize maximum development.
Barabara zetu za Maumau zilikwama zingine mwaka wa 2016. Barabara nyingi zikakwama 2017-2018. Leo hii barabara 78 to 80% of the roads that were stalled from way back in 2016, contractors wamerudi, tunajengewa.
Sisi tunataka barabara zetu zitengenezwe, tunataka market zetu zitengenezwe, sisi tunataka tuwekewe ma street lighting, sisi tunataka tuwekewe stima. Sisi tunasema ya kwamba siku ya leo sisi kama wana UDA tulichagua serikali ndio ifanye kazi na tutaendelea kufanya kazi. Harambe!
Other leaders from the county equally urged their supporters not to fall prey to the united opposition as they risk losing the president's support to other regions.
Musisahauki president wetu ni mwanaume kama wanaume wale wengine. Uwezi mfanyia mwanaume madharau kwa nyumba aendelee kukaa hapo. Anaweza pendwa kwingine. Mwanaume atakagi madharau, anataka kuonyeshwa mafedo. Especially akipatana na Waswahili. Si mnaona siku hizi ameingia huko kwa Waswahili. Wanamwambia karibu Mheshimiwa Rais wa kukaribisha hapa Pwani. Mheshimiwa Rais, sasa tuko kwenye broad base. Tunakuambia tandika na uketi. Tandika na ulale.
Other leaders from the county equally urged their supporters not to fall prey to the united opposition as they risk losing the president's support to other regions. The UDA party is expected to hold grassroots elections for the 20 counties that did not hold elections this year, which will culminate in elections of national party officials later in the year 2026. Reporting for Newswatch, my name is Jacob Ochiro.
Thank you so much, Jacob, for that report. A group of clergy in Kisii County has voiced strong opposition to the proposed law aimed at regulating church operations, calling for the legislation to be dropped entirely. The religious leaders argue that the measure infringes on the autonomy of faith-based institutions.
According to us, we are doing very well in matters of ministry, and I'm persuaded in my heart that even the president is not aware of the details in the bill. Hiyo bili haijatengenezwa na watu ambao wanaelewa Mungu wa taifa la Kenya. Ni sisi kama wachungaji, we have the capacity to regulate ourselves, to manage our affairs.
Tungeomba kwanza kabla amchatuletea bili, tafadhali mjue kama ni nani katikati yenu ambaye anaongozwa na nguvu za giza, kwa sababu kila mara kanisa inaingiliwa. Na hizo bili mnazotengeneza kwetu wakati mwingine zinakuja zinapotea. Ni kwamba kuna mahali mmeruhusu nguvu za giza kuongoza, maybe kwa mawaziri ama wabunge wetu.
Serikali kitu ingefanya, ikiona inataka kuingilia kanisa, ingetupatia mandate so we can follow up to wapatie information, kwa sababu sisi ndio tuko ground, tuambie kwamba ni kanisa gani haifanyi vizuri ama ni kanisa gani inafanya vizuri, kwa sababu doctrine iko wazi katika Biblia. Na kama ni watu ambao wanaonekana kwamba hawafanyi vizuri, serikali chukua huyo mtu. Kama una uwezo wa kumstaki unaweza kumstaki, kama una uwezo wa kufanya kile unafanya, lakini usiingilie makanisa yote. Kuna watu wameseeka, Chokaya amekufa akiwa anahubiri injili.
Away from that, and the National Council on the Administration of Justice, led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, has expressed concern over the number of people who have died in road accidents this year, noting that road crashes have increased by 5%. The main causes of the fatalities were cited as overspeeding, drunk driving, and overlapping. According to the CJ, in the first 2 weeks of December, at least 28 deaths have been reported, with over half in the past 2 days alone, bringing the total number of fatalities to over 4,600 since the beginning of the year. Dio Masharia with more on this.
Statistics of those who die through road accidents has witnessed a disturbing rise in the past few days, an occurrence which Chief Justice Martha Koome says is catastrophic. Just a few hours after 8 people were killed on Saturday along the Kericho-Nyamira highway, another 12 people coming from a wedding died in a grisly road accident near Chabera Trading Center in Rachuonyo East, Homa Bay County. As a result, the National Council on the Administration of Justice (NCAJ), led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, has pointed out at overspeeding, drunk driving and overlapping as the main causes of rising road accidents during the festive season.
We were asking one another whether going for celebrations during this festive season, we forget and throw caution in the air, forgetting that where we are going, if it is to celebrate this festive season in our rural homes or wherever we have booked our holidays, those destinations do not move. They are not a moving target, so that we speed away to catch up with them.
As a result, Koome announced an increased presence of the National Transport and Safety Authority (NTSA), police and ethics and anti-corruption officers on the roads starting today.
Kenyans are encouraged to report issues of concern using the toll-free numbers, which are well known, but I'll repeat them: 999 999 911 and 112. The command center is live 24 hours to receive any report, and the Inspector General of Police hereby confirms that.
This, she said, will also come with the mounting of mobile courts along major corridors to charge drivers who violate road traffic laws immediately during the festive season, with zero tolerance to corruption.
We want to urge Kenyans not to pay any bribe whenever they are arrested for violating traffic laws and regulations. Moreover, there will be monitoring of human rights violations, because all this time, at the center of everything is the protection of the dignity of the human being and their human rights.
Those plying along high-risk corridors like the Nairobi-Nakuru Highway and Kericho-Nyamira Road are expected to bump into strategic roadblocks for vehicle and motorcycle inspections.
Kenyans are encouraged to ensure that their vehicles and motorbikes are roadworthy before traveling. Particular attention will also be paid to motorbikes violating traffic laws and regulations, including measures to streamline their operations, also not for now, but for posterity.
The number of deaths since November has now risen from 4,682 after at least 28 people died in road accidents in the first 2 weeks of December, with more than half of the fatalities recorded in just 2 days. Animals have not been spared either, after 14 camels were killed on the spot and several injured by a speeding truck along Namanga Highway on Sunday night.
Tujui dereva alikuwa anaangalia wapi. Accident inaweza kutokea, lakini sasa hii imekuwa too much. Ni kama hii dereva hajakuwa na makini kuendesha gari sawa sawa. Hii mtu anabitisha gamia kama bumps, inabitia gamia 14 na ingine amepata jeraha, wametoroka.
Kuna shida, tumepoteza ngamia mingi ambayo pesa yao inawezafika 4 million. Tunataka haki yetu kwa serikali. Tunataka haki, we need justice.
Enhanced visibility, joint enforcement and public cooperation have been termed as critical in ensuring safer travel during festivities. Theo Masharia for Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you so much, Theo, for that report. The Kenya National Examinations Council (NEC) has warned schools against disseminating misleading analyses of the KJSEA examination results, emphasizing that the new competency-based education system does not involve total marks or school mean scores. The warning comes as several schools celebrate strong performance in the first ever results under the new system.
Good news ni kwamba kufikia jana tumekuwa na semina ya wale ambao wanaenda kutrain hao walimu. Hata hapa hii shule imekuwa ina train hao wakubwa. So kuanzia Jumatatu wiki ijayo wanaanza kutrain hao walimu wa senior school kuandaa kwa CBE. Otherwise kwa infrastructure in the senior school we have no problem because waziri jana alisema kwamba tuko na nafasi ya 1.8 million kwa senior school. Na hao watoto wenye wanaenda grade 10 there are only 1.1 million. Na maanisha kwamba the infrastructure in the senior school inatosha hao watoto wa kuenda grade 9 I think almost twice. So we have no challenges.
Now, the government has launched a new initiative to honor minority and marginalized communities, designating December 18th as a National Recognition Day. Led by President's digital strategist Dennis Itumbi, the event will see representatives hosted at State House, Nairobi, showcasing their cultural heritage through traditional attire, songs and dances, promoting inclusion and diversity across the nation.
It's key to note that under the President William Ruto's administration, for the first time, we have a minorities department in the office of the President.
Minority groups or communities in the country are spread all across the 8 counties in this region. And most of these communities come from the northern side of this country.
It is a day that is going to be of pomp, of traditional troops, dances, and appreciating the inclusivity of these minorities and marginalized communities across the country.
Now, for decades, the Chesongon area along the border of West Pokot and Elgeyo-Marakwet counties has been facing fear, cattle rustling, and deadly attacks of residents. But today, that same land is telling a different story, one of hope, unity, and farming. Residents from both sides of the border have come together to turn a once dangerous zone into a productive agricultural hub, using farming as a tool for peace and reconciliation, as Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi in her reports.
What was once a notorious hideout for cattle rustling is now stately transforming to fertile farmland. For years, the Chesagon area, which lies between West Pokot and Elgeyo-Marakwet counties, was marked by insecurity, frequent attacks and displacement of families. Passers-by feared using this route, while residents lived under constant threat. But today, the sound of gunfire has been replaced by the hum of farm activity.
Hapa ilikuwa ni zone ya vita. Vile vita ilianza kwa muda sana hapa hivi. Hapa ilikuwa watu wengi walikuwa wamekufia hapa kutoka wa Marakwet wa Pokot. Chanzo ilikuwa wanafikania mambo ya mbuzi, ng'ombe, kidogo ikaingia mambo ya nyasi, kidogo ikaingia ku mambo ya mazao kama maembe. Ukiona hapa hivi kuna maembe ya Pokot na wa Marakwet. Wamarikatu walikuwa wanaingia kuipa hii maembe.
Over 50 years of land along this volatile border have now been put under tomato farming and other crops as residents from Kabeni villages in Elgeyo Marakwet and Chesagon in West Pokot choose peace over conflict. This transformation has been made possible through support from International LAT, an organization that focuses on resolving recurring community conflicts through sustainable livelihoods. According to International LAT Planning and Programs Manager Dorina Prech, the project has already started bearing fruits.
This is an area that has been troubled by conflict for a number of years. And, recently government has come up with this disarmament exercise. So a lot of the young people have now, donned their tools, and so they asked us, so what alternative do we have? What are we going to do? That's why International Alert, together with CJPD, came together to support this group, who came up with an idea of setting up a tomato farm. It's also a project that is really aligned with this whole climate change adaptation agenda, where we are looking at diversification of livelihoods. This area is largely dependent on, livestock farming, but with climate change and all these issues that are happening in terms of climate security, we decided to come together to support them with the tomato farming.
It is a project that was initiated by a former IG, Joseph Boynet, by the year 2018. And I want to thank the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, for all the efforts he has tried through the CS Interior, Honorable Murkomen, to make sure that the entire Kerio Valley is in peace after a long continued banditry.
The church has also joined hands in peace-building efforts, saying dialogue and shared economic activities are key to ending long-standing hostilities.
Kwa hizi mwaka karibu 3, kuanzia mwaka wa 2002, tumekuwa hii eneo tukiongea na hawa vijana, tumeongea na wazee, tumeongea na wamama. Na hawa vijana tuliongea kama hawakutani, kama kila mtu ukiwapata wako wamejiami na mapunduki. So tumeongea na hawa, tumekuwa na vikao mingi sana.
Leaders from both county governments say they are committed to securing the border areas. Despite the progress, residents say more needs to be done. Locals are appealing to the government to improve roads, schools, health facilities and police stations, warning that poor infrastructure could allow cattle rustling to regroup and disrupt the fragile peace.
This place was a hotspot area. When you have heard of Chesagon, it was a very bad record. But right now, as we move on with peace dialogues along this border, we just want to say that peace along the Kerio Valley is now coming up in a very good way.
For now, hope is growing alongside the tomatoes as a sign that cooperation and shared prosperity may finally bring lasting peace to this troubled region. Dolly Murigimbovi for Hope TV.
Much Dolly for that report. Now let's cross borders. Far-right candidate Jose Antonio Cast has been elected Chile's 38th president after defeating center-left rival Janet Jara in a runoff election. Cast secured 58% of the vote, ending the governing coalition's time in office and marking the first return of a hard-right administration since Chile's transition to democracy, amid voter concerns over crime, immigration and the economy. Home Care Spiritual Fellowship is emerging as a beacon of hope for Kibra slums by offering educational, spiritual and food nourishment. CEO and founder of the fellowship, Reverend Judy Mbogwa, says that the main aim which makes them stand out is the fact that they are teaching them the Word of God, and because of the impact of the program, there has been a significant increase in numbers. Additionally, they have also educated a number of students up to tertiary level and plan to hold their end-of-year party at Cabernet Gardens on Wednesday, the 17th of December.
This is a ministry that is working in partnership with the Kibera slum,
because we are near. Our offices are on Kabarole Gardens. We have been able to reach out to the people of Kibera, starting with just 71 children. Today we have 1,300. Starting with just feeding them and giving them clothes. Now we are taking several of them to school. We started, as I said, with 71, and they kept increasing. And what we do is we go there, we give them a cup of tea in the morning, and then we give them the word of God. Our aim in going there is not just to feed them, because there are many other NGOs that are just feeding and clothing and taking to school. But our niche is the fact that we want to reach them for Jesus Christ.
Well, it's exactly 30 minutes past the top of the hour. Time now for a short break, but immediately after, I'll be back with the business and the sports news. Stick around.
There's a world out there searching for hope, and you can help bring it home. By becoming a friend of Hope, you're helping us share the love of Jesus through Hope FM and Hope TV. With a donation of any amount, join hands with us to bring hope and point souls to the transforming power of Jesus Christ. Become a friend of Hope today by making your donation through the M-Pesa paybill number 933933, account FOH. For more information on how to become a friend of Hope, call 0116-212-723 or email customerexperience@hopefm.org or visit www.hopemediakenya.org. Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
Hello there, my name is Beatrice Nudi, a host on Hope at Dawn with George Gishuru. Thank you so very much for your support and your loyal viewership. How is the signal in your area? We would love to know. Please do scan the QR code that you see on your screen so that we can know how to serve you better.
Welcome back. You're watching Hope TV Newswatch. Now let's get down to business. The Nairobi Securities Exchange has hosted a teen financial literacy and early investor empowerment workshop, bringing together youth aged 12 to 17 to nurture a culture of early investing. The initiative, led in partnership with Abojani Investment and NCBA Investment Bank, aimed to bridge the generational gap in market participation by equipping young people with practical skills in budgeting, saving, and basic investing.
So what we are really doing with these young ones is telling them about very simple concepts about, how to earn interest by lending money, say, to the government through government bonds, how to earn dividends by having a share of those companies they know, the Safaricoms and all the different companies that are listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, how to maybe look at dividend, things like dividends, how do they earn those, how do they also realize capital gains, where a share has gone from price A to price B. But apart from that, we're also looking at how do you handle loss. Sometimes you may buy these assets and the price goes down. How do you handle that? Or would you rather have someone make the decision for you? We also have managed funds like unit trusts, fixed income fund, we have an equity fund, a global fund, and those are just different vehicles of investment that we want these young ones to understand, particularly the different asset classes, how they earn you money, what sort of risks you're taking, the time frames, but more importantly, how do you set the objectives right?
The Kenya Tourism Board, in partnership with Turkana County and regional stakeholders, is enhancing Northern Kenya's tourism offerings ahead of this year's Tobong Lore Festival. Now in its 9th edition, the festival showcases Turkana's rich cultural heritage through music, dance, and traditional regalia, positioning the region as a must-visit destination for both domestic and international tourists.
you come to this land. We are partnering with Magical Kenya to show you around Turkana, also market this area. The Magical Kenya is running a up and Wapi campaign. We are also in partnership with them. The Up and Wapi campaign is all about the identification of the place in our area. So the campaign will help us boost the tourism sector, because the questions that are being asked there will make sure that if you have ever gone to that place, or will give you a taste of finding a way to visit that place. So the campaign is all about tourism. So we encourage you to explore around. Let's make Kenya a beautiful country for tourism. The Magical Kenya has been doing it very well. We are in good relationship with them. They are doing an amazing work. I want to tell fellow Kenyans, I know you guys have been hearing stories about the land. This land is very good for tourism. We have so many places you can come and jump in. We have the Napeget Sand Dune, very beautiful. We have the Elia Springs. We have the Central Island. We have the Napeget Sand Dunes. We have the Namukse. We have the Longech Island. Beautiful places somebody can come and do excursions. I want to tell Kenyans, these are festive seasons. Come to Turkana. Come and get the real excursions that you have been dreaming of. Turkana is a beautiful place. Somebody can come and enjoy themselves, or with the family.
All right, and to some sporting action now. Kenyan international Jonah Ayunga scored twice as St Mirren shocked 22-time winners Celtic to lift the Scottish League Cup. The 3-1 victory delivered the club's first major trophy in 12 years, sealing a historic night for the Saints as they claimed only the 5th major honour in their history. Gor Mahia Football Club has announced a strategic partnership with the Plascon Paints, which will join the club as one of its corporate sponsors for the 2026 season. Club patron Elido Walo described the collaboration as a key step in strengthening the club's corporate partnerships, supporting long-term growth and fostering investment in Kenya's football development.
It's our pleasure this morning to unveil this partnership between Gor Mahia Football Club and Plascon. It's a partnership that is mutually beneficial to both parties. As you are aware, all private sector concerns pursue to market their products as much as possible. And to do this, they need to get into a strategic alignment with strong brands. Gor Mahia is a strong brand. You are aware Gor Mahia has been in existence since 1968. And it is the most successful club in East and Central Africa. So this is an opportunity for Plascon to market its products, but is also an opportunity for Gor Mahia to benefit by way of some monetary inflow, capital inflow.
Now, the 5th edition of the Mud for Fun 4x4 Challenge has wrapped up in Naivasha, capping 3 days of high-octane off-road action that underscored Kenya's rising profile in adventure and motorsport tourism. 70 drivers from 4 countries thrilled over 1,000 fans as organizers and tourism officials hailed the event's growing regional appeal and economic impact.
We are here at Mud for Fun 5.0 and it's fantastic. I mean, it's our 5th edition happening in Naivasha at the Gardens, Moi Southwick Road. And we're excited to host all of you. We have lots of entries, both locally and internationally. And we are excited because we are supporting sports tourism, and that's what we are about. Apart from sports tourism, we're also supporting sustainability. And this is the reason why Mud for Fun exists. We're not just playing in the mud. We are playing in the mud for a reason. On a mission as a team to do 10 million trees in the next 10 years. So for every person who supports or come through for Mud for Fun, they are part of our sustainability agenda.
My first time joining Mud for Fun. I'm very excited about it. I'm driving a Land Cruiser, number 33. It's ready for mud. And I'm forced to be the intermediate instead of a beginner. Yes. I expect to get stuck, yes. And I'm also expecting a big mechanic bill on Monday. I think I have to put a budget in there for Monday.
I think this is quite exciting for us because Mad for Fun is about really diversifying or diversification of tourism products. So we welcome you all to come, and we can assure you, we can only promise you a good time. So Mad for Naivasha is definitely a tourism hub, and so just having people coming here, there are different spots to visit. I mean, we have Hell's Gate just next door. We have a couple of hotels where people can stay. And I mean, even the businesses around, people have come in to vend the good food that we are having. So, I mean, it's more for, you know, business is also thriving because we are definitely, you know, part of this. So.
Now, home favorite William Odek has clinched the NCBA Nyali Open title after edging out Kenya Amateur Golf Championship Series winner John Legirma in a tense sudden death playoff at Nyali Golf and Country Club. The pair finished tied after 3 rounds before Odek kept his composure on the 18th to seal victory, bringing the 2025 amateur golf season to a thrilling close. Only that, we come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for making time to watch Hope TV Newswatch. We really do appreciate the value of your time. On behalf of the amazing team that made this bulletin a success, have yourselves a blessed night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and on the sign language interpretation tonight has been Boniface Moredi.